Hey guys, how's it going? In this video I want to talk to you about a game that I've been absolutely loving. It's called RoboQuest and it's a roguelike FPS, and as far as FPS goes, it doesn't really get better than this. This game kind of has it all. Fast, smooth movement, great feeling gunplay. It kind of feels something like Overwatch, kind of that arcadey gunplay that's really nice for mowing down lots of enemies. Speaking of enemies, there's a nice variety of them and they work pretty well together to constantly be harassing you in different ways without feeling unfair or anything. There's also a ton of weapon variety, which is something I love since I get bored of using the same guns all the time. Aside from the basic stuff, this game also has pretty much like every cool feature you could want in an FPS, and it implements them perfectly. You've got enemy weak spots, rocket jumping, great verticality, pocket reloads, elemental damage, and status buildups, sliding, and probably more that I'm forgetting about now. I think my favorite thing about the gameplay is how every enemy's attack is clearly visible and can be reasonably dodged. It's always a hard pill to swallow that you died in a game because you made a mistake and not because the game's bullshitting you, but in the end that's how you learn and get better, and the learning curve in this game is great. You feel yourself getting better with each run. So speaking of runs, I've talked about the FPS elements, but what about the roguelike elements? Well, they're really good too. What I like is that the runs can feel as different from each other as you want, but you can also replicate your runs pretty well if you want to. So let me explain that a little bit. Basically, you've got a few elements that make up your build. There are 5 classes that have a couple unique abilities. Then you've got your weapons, which can have a number of different perks, and then you got level up upgrades and other perks that you find in the world. The different classes share some upgrades, but others are unique to the class, and each class has a few different builds you can work towards. A lot of the upgrades are only available after you pick a prerequisite upgrade as well, meaning that you won't actually see that many upgrade choices early in a run, so it's pretty easy to get the ones you want. So if you were having fun with a build and then you died, it's not hard to get that build back again. On the other hand, you could go for something completely different because pretty much everything feels really viable, whether you want to hang back and snipe, rush around with a shotgun, use heavy weapons, rely on elemental damage, or even go for a melee build. The game's also got 2-player co-op, so there's room for some inter-build synergy and cool stuff like that. Another cool feature is the way the permanent meta progression works. So each run you get these wrenches based on your progress, but also your rating for the level. So you get a rating based on basically how many enemies you killed and how quickly you cleared the level, and then you spend those wrenches back at your home base on various upgrades. The last thing I want to quickly talk about is early access. So this game is early access, which I know is a turn off for some people, but the thing about early access for me is always like, if the game already feels complete, like if I feel like I got my money's worth already and the game's not even complete yet, then the rest is just icing on top, right? So that's where I'm at with this one. It's already an incredibly good game, and then there's still more to come. I also didn't see a single bug or really anything negative while I was playing. Like seriously, I'd have to sit down and think about it if there's anything in this game that I don't like, unlike some shooters. Anyway, that's it for this one, so do yourself a favor and grab this game. If you want to see some more games I'd recommend, click the video on the screen, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.